Yeah, the book gets really interesting here, because after all that, after the physical healing starts, Gill begins experiencing psychotic episodes, hallucinations, delusions. He's totally disconnected from...
Welcome to Book Haven.
All right, buckle up everybody, because today we're diving into a story that's, well, pretty mind-blowing.
Definitely intense.
Yeah, we're talking about surviving the fastest ejection in naval aviation history.
Can't get much faster than that.
Nope, January 15th, 2014 a day, Lt Kegan, call sign SM-R. Gill probably won't forget anytime soon.
I can imagine.
So we're going deep with his book, Phoenix Revival, to find out what this experience was really like for both his body and mind.
Yeah, it's one thing to read the headlines, but another to really grasp the impact of something like that.
Exactly. You ready to get into it?
Absolutely, let's go.
Okay, so picture this. You're a pilot on a training mission over the Atlantic. Suddenly things go wrong, and your only option is to eject right into the sound barrier.
I mean, just trying to comprehend that kind of speed is
Yeah, it's crazy.
almost impossible. We're talking forces that most people can't even fathom.
It's hard to even put into words. What does that even feel?
Gill describes it as like a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hitting your body all in a split second.
Wow. So what happens after this insane ejection?
Well, you're suddenly plummeting towards the icy ocean, still strapped to your parachute, completely disoriented.
Oh.
Gill fought to survive for 2 hours in the water, battling hypothermia with his parachute tangled around him.
It's amazing he was even found.
A total miracle.
And then he had to go through over a dozen surgeries
Mm.
for limb trauma. What does that even mean?
Imagine like shattered bones, torn ligaments, probably nerve damage too. You're talking full limb reconstruction, not just fixing a simple fracture.
That's intense.
It is. It's a grueling process of surgeries, rehab, chronic pain. Just the physical recovery alone is massive.
And you think that's the end of the story, but then...
But then there's this other aspect, this hidden impact, the psychological trauma.
Yeah, the book gets really interesting here. Because after all that, after the physical healing starts, Gill begins experiencing psychotic episodes, hallucinations, delusions. He's totally disconnected from reality.
It's really a testament to how powerful and complex the brain is. And it's all tied to this thing called traumatic brain injury, TBI.
PBI, yeah, I've heard of it. But I always thought it was from like direct blows to the head.
It can be, but it's not always that straightforward. See, that force of the ejection, the insane acceleration, and then the sudden stop it can cause the brain to literally rattle around inside the skull.
Oh, wow.
Think of it like whiplash, but inside your head.
Ouch.
Yeah, it can create these tiny tears and bruises in the brain tissue, even if there's no external head injury.
So that's what happened with Gill.
That's what the book points to. And the symptoms, they can show up much later, like in his case, manifesting as severe psychosis.
It's a reminder that sometimes the things we can't see are the worst injuries.
Definitely.
So you got this guy who survives this impossible ejection, goes through grueling physical rehab, and then
he has to fight another battle. But this time, it's inside his own mind.
how do you even begin to deal with that?
Well, at first, Gill turned to traditional mental health treatment.
Okay, makes sense.
But, as he describes in the book, the standard therapies, they just weren't cutting it for him.
So what did he do?
He found the Warrior Angels Foundation.
Ah, okay, I've heard that name. What exactly is it they do?
They've got this really interesting approach. It's way more holistic. They look at the whole person, not just the symptoms. Body, mind, and spirit, they take it all into account.
So less about medication and more about...
It's about finding what works for each individual. They're big on equine therapy, for example.
horses.
Yeah, interacting with horses can be incredibly therapeutic. It helps people process emotions, build trust, all sorts of things.
I never would have thought of that.
Right. They also do art therapy, mindfulness practices, nature-based activities.
So it's kind of like filling in the gaps left by traditional approaches.
Exactly. Especially for veterans who might not respond to the usual methods.
Did it work for Gill?
The book talks about how those alternative therapies helped him process his trauma in ways he hadn't been able to before. It wasn't like a magic cure, but it helped him rediscover himself, rebuild his life step by step.
I can only imagine. And through all of this, he's a husband, he's a father.
Right. Can you imagine trying to navigate all of this while also being a husband and a father?
That must added a whole other level of complexity to his recovery.
It did. And that's really what makes Phoenix Revival so powerful. It's not just about surviving one event, it's about the ongoing struggle of healing.
And the importance of having a support system.
Exactly. Gill talks a lot about his family, his wife's unwavering support, his kids' love. It's all there in the book. Those relationships became anchors for him, especially when things were really dark.
So we've got this incredible story of physical endurance, overcoming a traumatic brain injury, the power of alternative therapies.
It really does make you think about the limits of human resilience. What are we truly capable of overcoming?
And how can we support those who are facing these kinds of challenges? Because trauma, it's complex. There's no easy fix.
We need more diverse approaches to healing, more understanding, more support systems.
Lieutenant Gill's story is a powerful testament to the
Targeted
strength
broad
of
250, 20 miles, 5,000 low. South Bear
Phoenix
Falls, over the
Revival
ridge.
gives us this really
Engage.
valuable glimpse into
Come on, sniper
the
4, confirm 30%.
and the long, difficult journey of healing.
Sniper 1, double target is sniper 4, broad,
We encourage everyone
065.
to check out Phoenix
20
Revival,
low.
maybe learn a little more about the Biologist Foundation and more.
Sniper 1,
Think
target
about
4,
how you
broad,
can be a part of that
060.
support system.
Absolutely.
16.
Grab Phoenix Revival by Lieutenant Kegan Smurf Gill, now on sale for just $16.28. Don't miss this chance to build good habits and achieve remarkable results. Click pre-order now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.